I'm going to speak for all men here, Bert, right? But as men, so much of what we do and what we are is like in chase of having sex or wanting sex or because of sex. I can't imagine something that I enjoy so much, something that I chase so often, something that I love so much, being a painful experience for myself.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Hey. All right, so now we're gonna have to switch to some sad news. Some this is as sad as it is very informative, and I think it's super important that we talk about these situations. Okay, so this story is about sex and how sex can be very uncomfortable for people who have endometriosis. It's a really insane, horrible affliction that someone can have. And this story, we're going to start out with Hollie. She is one of 1.5 million women in the UK who have endometriosis. It occurs when tissue similar to the lining of the womb grows in places like the ovaries and the fallopian tubes, meaning fertility can be affected. And not only fertility can be affected, your sex life can also be affected. In her case, as with many others, it can also cause excruciating flare-ups of pain during and after sex. Hollie says it's not just the fact that you might not be able to conceive and have kids or the family you want. It also affects your sex life. It makes me feel like I'm a failure and not a good girlfriend / wife / partner, whatever you want to call yourself. Tina, so you learn about endometriosis, you learn about these chronic illnesses, these diseases in nursing school. And sometimes, especially if you don't work in L&D or in women's health, you kind of forget about these things. But there are millions. I just said 1.5 million women just in the UK that are suffering from endometriosis. And they are not just dealing with the fact that they might not be able to have children, they are dealing with the fact that it is painful to have sex. As a man, I can't even imagine what this would mean for me I don't even know. Okay, let me just you can just tell me how you feel about this, because this okay, go ahead. How do you feel about the situation?
Well, I don't really understand a lot about endometriosis, but I have had a lot of friends who have talked about having this, and I definitely, it is a debilitating disease that affects their whole life. It affects sometimes their ability to just do regular everyday things like clean the house and work, and because it's so debilitating and painful. So I guess another aspect of that would be your sex life. If you think about where it grows, it can get so overgrown that it grows all over.
Yes.
And I don't really, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it. This is not the kind of nursing that I do, but and I've never experienced it myself, so I'm not real familiar with it. I know what it is, and I do know that there are a lot of women that suffer from this. I wish that there was more research being done for this, because I feel like this has been around a long time, and I'm surprised that there isn't more, haven't been more advances in this area to where there can be some relief, but it seems like there isn't a whole lot that can be done.
No, I hear you. And I agree. And not a lot of people do know a lot about endometriosis. So let me give you a little more details and an example from another lady who was in this article, this BBC article that I read through. So surgery to remove visible patches of endometriosis tissue can sometimes help, but there are no guarantees, and it comes with a risk of complications, which can include bruising around the womb, and in less common but more serious cases, organ damage, which is super, super intense. I'm going to just talk to you about another lady who also gave her perspective on how she deals and has been dealing with endometriosis. So another lady, her name is Sophie in the article, but it's not her real name because she didn't want to give it out, suffered such extreme pain, she found herself unable to have sex with her partner. And she was quoted by saying, endometriosis ruined my relationship. In the bedroom, I just couldn't do it. I didn't know what the pain was, and I felt like I wasn't being taken seriously. It was excruciating, and it just didn't, and he just didn't understand it. In the end, he slept with other people. Holy shit, right? Now I'm not actively seeking a relationship because I'm worried about sex and not being able to do it. So I said in the beginning, as a man, I don't know how I would take the situation because like, I think I'm going to speak for all men here, Bert, right? But as men, so much of what we do and what we are is like in chase of having sex or wanting sex or because of sex. Like, I can't imagine something that I enjoy so much, something that I chase so often, something that I love so much being a painful experience for myself. That would, if you want to destroy like, that's why erectile dysfunction, and that's not a painful situation. That's just, you can't get your penis hard, right? And that, to men, it's like the ultimate, like, manhood. It takes your manhood out of you, right? So I can't imagine sex being a painful experience. And then to put it on, and like for her to say that her partner ended up sleeping with someone else and they just didn't understand that she was in excruciating pain. And every time she wanted to please her partner, she had to choose between me feeling pain and pleasing my partner, or me not being in pain or still being in pain. Not even, it's not just when you're having sex, but it's just a crazy situation to me. An insane, crazy situation to me. So I did a little bit more research about this, and I found out that a common thing that relieves all of the pain, relieves endometriosis, is getting an entire hysterectomy. But that is super, super, super intense, right? So a hysterectomy, for those who don't know, is getting rid of everything. I mean, there's no chance. It's not like maybe you can have a baby in the future. No, you're done. That's your entire womb coming out of you, right? That's a full hysterectomy, and that takes care of endometriosis. But that's the decision that these ladies have to make. Do I lose my entire womb and not suffer from endometriosis, or try to suffer through endometriosis and try to have children? It is a crazy, crazy, crazy thing. And again, it's just 1.5 million in the UK, so you can imagine what that means for the world. I'm sorry I don't have those numbers, but this is just a scary thing. And like, you learn about these things every day, and you walking down the street, you're in the hospital every day, you probably know hundreds of people that are dealing with this, and you just have no idea. So my heart goes out to every single one of these ladies, every single person that is dealing with endometriosis. It's just a scary, chronic, horrible illness.